segments. We're out here at the Cleghorn Rotary, as it were, Cumberland Farms, doing a lot of economic development globally, probably New England, but here in Fitchburg, on fire, up at Park Hill and now at Cleghorn. Grand opening today, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, we couldn't be happier. Cumberland Farms has really stepped up, providing a community partnership, and they know that coming to Fitchburg, we were as user-friendly as we possibly could be, and that is the keynote of where we're driving toward in the city of Fitchburg. We want as much commerce and retail business as we can get in here. It's for our growth. It all is returned to the people of this city. This used to be the old McDonald's, and it was closed down, been shut for, I don't know, a couple of years anyway. So to have this new facility here, and this is one of their new generation facilities. It's a beautiful, beautiful setup in here. And I urge everyone that may be viewing this, come on down to Cumberland Farms. There's a promotional opportunity going on for the next month where this store in particular will be providing every 10 cents of a poured beverage will go toward the Sam Pollock playground, which is going to be a playground for kids with disabilities. So come on down, spend your money. Great food options that never existed before. Come down and patronize Cumberland Farms. They've been a partner with the city. We want to partner with them as well.
One of the things that we talk about when a new building goes up is, will people patronize it? Today is evidence of that.
Place is packed, people coming and going. It's just what we want. This is what we like to see. Thank you to Cumberland Farms, and thank you to the people of Fitchburg that provided this opportunity for them.
Our City News segments continue. Stay with us. Our City News heads out to the Senior Center right here on Wallace Avenue. With me, Diana and Jane. Diana, something special happening with the Julia Child Night. Tell us more about it.
I went blank. I'm sorry. I'm going blank.
Okay.
We're going to be having a fundraiser for the Senior Center. It's going to be $35, and we're going to be having a show and a meal. It'll be a Julia Childs impersonator. She's coming from Lowell to do the show. The show's about 45 minutes. And after the show's done, we'll be having to eat. We'll be able to eat.
Very nice.
And I believe people will be able to talk with her after. I was told that you could talk with her after.
Very nice. And so coming soon, right here to the Senior Center, and the dates and the time.
The date will be September 15th, and we're going to have appetizers from 5 to 6. The show's at 6, and then we'll eat at 7.
Very nice. And of course, for those who may not know Julia Child from generations back, she loved the French cuisine and loved to prepare certain dishes that were very much in the French vernacular. So this is great. Jane, good to see you today. This is really something special to come to the Senior Center.
It is, and the Friends are very excited about putting this on. And Julia Child, everyone remembers, was just such a flamboyant figure, and I think that everyone will enjoy their evening. One of her favorite sayings from our menu is, "A party without cake is just a meeting." So obviously, we're going to be serving cake for dessert, her favorite thing, and we have quite a nice menu prepared for that night. We're going to be serving French onion soup, French salad, ratatouille, a sole, we're going to be doing that a French way, and beef burgundy, along with French bread, and of course the cake, which was her signature dessert.
All right, here at the Senior Center, September 15th, here on our City News segments. Stay with us. Fall 2018 is here at the Fitchburg Art Museum, and with me, of course, Cledia Spiro, all things marketing here at the FAM. Something special behind us, and tell us more.
Yeah, this is Linda Schlossberg's show, Multiverse. She has a solo exhibition here. She was the first prize winner of the 82nd Regional Exhibition of Art and Craft. And this year, she really gets at the notion of what the multiverse is. And it's not just about the cosmos, it's also a little bit about our human perception, right? And like our internal sort of nervous system trying to comprehend what all these alternate universes could mean.
So just not about all of us, which is a concept that we've all heard, but the notion, almost scary, that something beyond us could exist.
Yeah, and I think, she gets at it through the painter's lens as well. She brings a lot of, hundreds of years of abstract painting into her practice, but also, imaging from scientific data. And that's what I think is really fascinating. It's little nuances of what a multiverse could mean.
All this and more. Cledia has a special guest with us, so stay here.
With me is Candace Bencari, the Tarana Curatorial Fellow, and I really wanted her here because she is such an incredible part of our team now, and I'd like her to talk about Linda Schlossberg's piece a little bit.
Thank you, Cledia. So Linda is actually, I don't know how many people know this, but has her background in fine art photography. So you really see a lot of that in her work. She does a lot of layering of colors, so she came into painting and abstraction kind of through that lens, and definitely displays that exactitude that photography, the tradition of photography, kind of brings into painting. So for me, they're so interesting, but also incredibly meticulous, and I think the layering really adds that vibration to them in terms of color as well.
Yeah, I think there's obviously the microscopic to the vastly large here. Can you, as I think you have a background in painting, can you sort of talk about what you think of her color choices and if there's sort of a rhyme or reason behind them?
Sure. So I actually came into the museum kind of right as they were installing Linda's work. And so I didn't really know too much about Linda and her work. All I saw, I just had my own reaction to it. And to me, they were very reminiscent of water. And but I don't, I think she's thinking of spatial relationships. And so it's interesting to kind of hear or come into a piece with your own connotations of what they're thinking about, and then also in relation to what you see. So I see a lot of seaweed.
Yeah, I think we have a really incredible learning lounge here as well to really understand her practice and her process. So we'll take you there and see what that's all about. So this is our learning lounge, and we have some really amazing offerings here, one of which is this processing of what Linda does so people can understand sort of the layered aspect of her work. So we have these transparent sheets, and they have all different patterns, and kids and adults alike can make these fabulous drawings that create these amazing depths, and you can kind of see some examples of what people have already created. And they're really reminiscent of some of Linda's drawings and beginning processes of her paintings. So with only a few weeks left for the 83rd Regional Exhibition of Art and Craft and Linda Schlossberg's Multiverse closing, I urge you to come. Our hours are Wednesday to Friday, 12 to 4 p.m., and Saturday to Sunday, 11 to 5 p.m. You can find out more information on our website at fitchburgartmuseum.org.
So Sue Christensen is with me, and all things development, community interaction, and the third year of this fair.
Yes, Glenn, we're really happy to have the fair happening again this year, September 13th on a Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Senior Center. We will have over 75 agencies present, state, national, mostly local agencies that will be there, nonprofits, as well as many city departments, which I think is the best part. It's an opportunity for citizens to come in and meet the different department heads, meet the different departments, find out what they do. We also have some commissions, the Cultural Commission, the Fitchburg Historical Society. There might be opportunities for volunteerism as well.
Huge opportunities and resources. No one can ever be without enough resources, and that's what this is about.
Absolutely. Part of our receiving CDBG money is to provide for resources to the community. And this is one way where we can reach a large group of people. We had over 400 people last year, and it's a great opportunity for people to come out and see what's available.
Yeah. The mayor has been at the top of this, of course, and has done this through his administration, and that speaks well of including everyone in the community.
Absolutely, and that's our goal, is to include everyone, let everyone know what's out there for them to do. Another addition this year will be the Fitchburg Decorating Committee will be providing pizza and some snacks for people. We're there from 4 to 7. It's a big crowd, so you can stop by, make your way through the room, and then grab a snack on the way out or supper. Fitchburg Public Schools Sodexo will also, again, be providing a healthy snack. In the past, they've done fruit smoothies, fruit yogurt parfaits, so that's always a fun part of it, too.
All right, here at the Senior Center, 4 to 7 p.m. on September 13th. Thank you for joining us here on another Our City News segment. Our City News travels out to 33 North Street here at the Fitchburg Fire Department headquarters. With me, Lieutenant Richie Liberatore. Richie, you were very instrumental in getting this sort of project moving on and ahead. Appropriate tribute by the chief saying all of that, but it's got to feel good that it's now come to fruition on this day.
I have a punch list, things I need to do before I retire. This definitely was number one. We started the same time last year, groundbreaking, planning. To see it done today warms my heart. The attendance was great. I just am overwhelmed that the city was able to take part in this. We got our monument up, a respectful site for a beautiful piece of steel to remember a tragic day.
Over 300 brothers and sisters, of course, losing their lives that day, and you can still feel folks choking up over it 17 years later.
We sent a lot of firefighters down following the tragedy. They all came back with different feelings that they shared to us, especially some of us who couldn't make that pilgrimage to New York. Yes, it hit me so hard, and the day that the mayor asked me to present this in the parade about 3 years ago, I kind of made a vow to myself, thinking this has got to get up in a respectful site so the whole city can enjoy it. Here it is today, finally dedicated, a symbol of tragedy, but also a symbol of our fortitude as Americans.
Sure. Truly. Senator Dean Tran with us here at 33 North Street, the Fitchburg Fire Department headquarters. Tribute to 911, of course, 9/11, and this very, very important monument that's taken several years, but Fitchburg is on the top.
It is. Fitchburg is on the top. It feels really good to be back home. Fitchburg is a city that's on the rise.
And of course, this is important to you. You've always talked about the United States becoming your new home and how important that is as a new citizen.
Well, it's very important for me to be here today because I have always been a huge supporter of first responders, and I have tremendous respect for their work. So we need to be here to show our support.
Senator Dean Tran with us here at this celebration. In the 3rd Congressional District, Laurie Trahan, frontrunner, of course, as a nominee. Laurie, this is a special day, a tribute to those who lost their lives and others, of course, who were impacted by 9/11 17 years ago. Coming out to the district, this is important.
Absolutely. It was an honor to be part of this dedication ceremony with our firefighters, our police officers, and our first responders. I mean, this is a day of remembrance. It always needs to be a day of remembrance, so I was honored to be here.
Of course, the operative question today is, where were you on this day? Any thoughts or anything you'd like to share with that?
Yeah, you bet. So I was actually working in the congressional office, in the Lowell office on this day. And, you know, one of the things that I remember is the community. Of course, the nation pulled together, and we showed just how strong we were. But on the community level, we had a lot of victims from this district, and there were, we went and did our part in terms of helping the families of those victims with educational scholarships. And you're reminded of how communities and families take care of each other. And I was honored to be a part of that. It gave me hope, and just reminded me of how strong and resilient our country is.
Here at Fitchburg Fire Headquarters, Glenn Foster, Our City News. State Representative Stephen Hay, of course, the district representative for Fitchburg. Steve, this is a special tribute today, and just a lot of remembrance about a lot of great Americans.
Certainly is, Glenn. And what I'd really like people to take home today is that this sculpture stands as a testament and a monument to the courage of the first responders in New York City on that day. And while we pay tribute to the first responders and the citizens who perished that day, I want to make sure that we don't forget the families and loved ones that they've left behind, because for 17 years they've had sacrifice in their hearts, and we need to remember them in our thoughts and our prayers.
The special message is never forget, and of course we're not fearful, because strong Americans will always tell the story.
Absolutely. A long time ago, Franklin Delano Roosevelt spoke about that during Pearl Harbor, and it's the same sentiment we have now. It's going to be passed on generational, and people understand it, know it, and we stand strong when we stand together.
Stay with us right here. School Resource Officer James Archipredi with me. Jim, you're a veteran of the armed services and also a police officer, of course. This is a special day.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I was a veteran and then also a police officer after that. Yeah.
So many, of course, impacts on this particular incident that happened over 17 years ago that we had to follow up with our military and, of course, see the impact of it on our country. And it's got to be still a special, special day for you to remember.
Sure. I mean, after it happened, I went down to New York. We got the morgue. And then after that, the change and what it did to the military was that people going to the reserves, they found out that they now were going to be activated and actually having to do real military time, where a lot of reservists went in for college or for whatever reason, and now it kind of changed the whole dynamics of the military completely.
In your daily walk as a school resource officer, of course, this is 17 years ago. Some of those young people weren't even here yet at that time. Do you see the legacy moving on?
I do. It was funny. Last year they had us say something at the school as the police officers, and when I got up there, one of the questions I asked the kids was, who wasn't even here for that? And there was a good number of the kids that weren't even alive. And I tried to explain to them, it was like this country, as you were a police officer at the time, it's like it stood still. Everything in the city just kind of stopped for a couple of days, even for a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden things started to get back to normal. But even today, we still see a change in everything that we do. I mean, to fly, to drive, or any kind of thoughts that you have, that's always in the back of your mind. But before, it never was like that before.
More to come in this important tribute today on Our City News. This important monument, of course, right here at our fire headquarters, and will be here for some time. You, Mayor, as a U.S. war veteran or U.S. military veteran, this has a special place in your heart, not only as a citizen, a community leader, but as a person who served.
I mentioned this earlier, the importance of this day and the importance of having this piece of steel displayed in the way that it deserves, because it's hallowed. It's a hallowed piece of steel. Really speaks to the resiliency of the United States and the people of this country. If you go to New York now, you see the area where the World Trade Center was and the Twin Towers. The building there is even larger, more prominent, more impressive, and that just speaks to the resiliency of the American people and their spirit. So that's what this, I hope, reminds people of. And as I mentioned in my speech, Glenn, the importance of making sure we bring families here, because the families will ensure sustainability of this day, and the importance of making sure everyone knows that this is honoring those who gave so much. And particularly those first responders, police officers and fire, and not to mention the, just the EMTs in general, the people that went into that building and lost their lives. So we couldn't be happier. When I first took office as the mayor and I discovered and I learned that this was at the DPW garage, it's not the place for it. This is so much of a tribute to the people of Fitchburg and all the people that contributed to putting this monument up. So we couldn't be happier and on this solemn occasion.
Well, it's a certain tribute to your administration that you have not forgotten.
No, I never will. And it's as I mentioned earlier, you always remember where you were. It's similar to John F. Kennedy, President Kennedy's assassination. You'll always remember where you were on that day. And this is one of those events, as tragic as it was. You'll never forget where you were that day.
With us, the Honorable Mayor Stephen DiNatale on Our City News segments as we continue.